Welcome to Contemplative Living, where we view contemplations for the week to have a better understanding of our spiritual paths. This is Contemplative Living with Dave Bennett, contemplations and reflective meditations. Hello, and welcome back to another Contemplative Living, where we talk about concepts to bring contemplative living into our daily lives. There I am. I'm Dave Bennett, and I'm your host. And I'd like to read a little something from Aristotle to start off today. The ultimate value of life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation, rather than upon mere survival. So Aristotle was right. The awareness and contemplation together are what make life worth living. And so today we're going to be talking a lot about awareness and our contemplative practice. So the first contemplation we're going to examine today is to live in the now means we consciously, knowingly recognize that awareness is our true nature. So let's look at awareness. We have everyday awareness that, and where do we attach our awareness? In other words, which direction do we focus our awareness? And that's what's key in a contemplative lifestyle. If we're going to contemplate, or if we're going to focus our awareness on the circumstances that are around us, it's going to pull us usually off center and create a lot of suffering in our life. But if we can rise above the circumstances in our life and tune our awareness to rise above, then we're more consciously and knowingly recognizing our awareness and using that for clear vision. Good morning, Mary Beth. Glad you're here. So our awareness is key. It really is key in living in the now, in the present. The present is the utmost. Good morning, Justine. Living presently, or living in the present, in the now, all those terms that we hear about all the time, we need to focus our awareness, because our awareness is, again, key. Just like Aristotle said, that there, in life, there's more, or life depends upon awareness and the power of contemplation, rather than just survival. So in order to have a richer life, we want to recognize our awareness, because that's the first step, is recognition. And with that recognition, we can move forward. We can then begin to, live life aware and in the present moment, and using that focus to create a better life, a better way of being. So confidence begins with clarity. Explore the connection between self-awareness and empowerment. So here we're talking about confidence, and that it begins with clarity. And where does clarity? How do we get to clarity? How do we become clear? Again, I mentioned earlier, rise above the circumstances. Because when we do that, we can become aware, self-aware. And with self-awareness, we then begin to accept ourselves. We begin to have clearer decision-making abilities, and that is empowerment. That empowers us to move forward in life, to make change in life, to give life everything that we have in order to be that person. Hey, Chuck, glad you're watching. Good morning. Chelsea, hello, good. All right, we've got a bunch of folks watching today. Thank you. And thank you for all the emoticons. So again, confidence begins with clarity. It's so amazing when we can rise above and we can see clearly. It allows us to be able to make decisions that aren't attached to the drama, that aren't attached to all of the circumstances around us. And there's so much going on around us right now that it's hard. It's hard to rise above and to live that way. But the more we do it, the more we practice that way of being, the more we, it becomes more of a habit, and eventually it becomes the way we live our lives. And that's what contemplative living is about, is to try to create that as a way of being, a way of living life. So our true nature is present, unlimited awareness. We have the infinite power of creation to support our body, mind, and emotions. So our true nature, that part of us that is connected to the divine and is divine, is present with unlimited awareness. Now, think about it. To have a connection to unlimited awareness, to that which is greater than just ourselves, gives us that infinite power of creation. That's where our free will is able to make the proper decisions for the benefit of all, not just the I, but the we, so that it supports our community. But not only that, when we're living in that creative support, our minds are sharper, they're clearer, we're more at ease. The universe, its intention for us is peace, harmony, love, and happiness. That's the direction towards perfection. Of course, we're human. We can't really achieve that, but it's a great ideal. It's an amazing ideal to strive for. So I say, let's move in that direction. Hey, Cindy, good morning. And Gail, good morning to you. All right. All right. So I'm sorry. I'm having my computer is giving me little notes of saying good morning back to me. Every time I say good morning, it says good morning back to me. So it's listening. It's amazing. All right. So moving on. When we experience our true nature through stillness, we accept a reality that is ever-present awareness in the mind, body, and emotions. This is a reality of peace and ever-present love. Just like I was saying, the universe has that intention of peace, harmony, love, and happiness for us and for everyone. It's when we experience our true nature, our divine essence that is a part of all of us. We all have that connection to our divine essence. When we connect through stillness, we accept a reality, an ever-expanding reality that is present awareness. And that awareness is available to our minds, our bodies, and our emotions. This is what we really, really want in our lives is a reality of peace, where it's a part of our being, a part of our way of operating and living in life, is to have that peaceful center where we can move out into our day, take our steps in a peaceful and self empowered. We were talking about empowerment in the last slide, but empowerment and that ever present love. That ever present love is a part of the universe. And we don't think to touch that. We don't think to bring that into our daily existence. So a lot of times we kind of miss what we're really striving for. So recognize when you have lost touch with your inner balance and discover how to reconnect. I love nature. And we live here in Virginia Beach. We have the beach. Which is amazing for me. The ocean has always been the breath of Mother Earth for me. And so when I feel like I've lost touch, I'll take a few minutes. I'll go down to the beach and I'll just stand in the sand and look out over the ocean. When we lived in central New York, we had a beautiful old farmstead that we lived in, that I would just stand out and just look at the trees. And even in the wintertime, when they were bare, there was this majestic nature of just being amongst the trees. And so I use nature a lot of times when I recognize that I've lost touch with my inner balance. But how do you connect? Many people have different tools to reconnect. Some people like to write. Some people like to compose music or play music. These are all great ways to kind of let our minds step aside for a second so that we can reconnect to our heart. Because I believe our balance in life is a balance between heart and mind. And we need both. It's incredibly empowering to be in awareness of both, but we need to unify our heart and mind, and that way we can really move forward. And when we're unified, when we have that, then we're able to see some of the things that we're not quite seeing, that we take for granted. It's easy to overlook the everyday connections, such as gravity holding the planets, stars, and galaxies together in a beautiful orbital patterns. We don't even think about, it's hard to live this life and not realize that we are just this tiny little speck in the grand picture of things. And we overlook that because we are in a sense, an illusion. We are experiencing an illusion of separateness. And so our life is evolved all around us a lot of times, and we don't recognize that we are just one small interconnected piece within the universe. And so, when we reconnect to that, it's incredibly humbling and allows us to then live humbly, more grateful for the opportunity to coexist with everyone, with all, and to try to work toward a more cohesive way of existing with our neighbors, with our fellow man, and try to move forward and try to create a better way of living for everyone. But a lot of times, we just totally, space on the no pun intended, or pun intended. We totally space on some of the grander picture, and it's good to come back and see that. So by returning to present awareness, we gain access to empowerment, balance, ease, and effectiveness. So this kind of wraps up everything that we've been saying today, that when we come into that balance, and you can see here, she has her chakras all in alignment. And that's hard, because when you think of all the aspects that the chakras represent within our Kundalini, it means, it's very hard to maintain that level of balance. But we can, once we're aware, we use awareness, we can sense when part of us is out of alignment, when we're not connected to the divine, when our intuitive sense is turned off, when we're unable to communicate from our hearts, and when we're just socially not available, and that we don't feel grounded. Those, when we have our awareness turned on, we can feel all those elements within ourselves. And with that awareness, we're able to then do what we need to do in order to come back into alignment. To keep our divine turned on, to have our intuitive sense awakened, to be able to communicate our heartfelt desires, to be able to be communicative with our fellow man, in order to be sociable, and to stay grounded, and use that awareness of all those aspects that each and every one of us have to start creating the life that we really want to live. So, hey Travis, glad you could join. The thing, so the kind of the message this week is to try to turn on our awareness, so that we're not just running around, like little robots many times, because, we've got this to do and we've got that to do, and we just get tunnel vision and kind of get into the project. But to keep awareness available and to touch it a few times each day, just so that we can stay in center, so that we become the best person that we possibly can be. So I hope that you're able to expand your awareness and bring it into the front of your day, and so that you can enjoy life in a much more rich and full way. And then you can live with that intention that the universe has for us, that intention of peace, harmony, love, and happiness. All right. Namaste. Thank you.